Hey guys, today we are going to take some notes on just basic facial proportion measurements. I'm going to write facial proportion at the top. And we're going to keep this in our notes so that if we're ever drawing a self-portrait or a portrait of someone else, we can reference this. I'm going to start with just a generic shape for a head. I always start with the circle to be the crown of the head, and then we're going to come down and just kind of make an egg shape. Everybody's heads are a little bit different shaped, but just for the sake of today's notes, we're just going to draw an egg, okay? Notice how I drew this very, very lightly, and that is so I can go back over where I want my good line to be. And I can erase the lines very easily that I don't want to keep. So I'm going to erase those. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is find the line of symmetry. So I'm going to just start by making a line just where it looks like it's in the middle. And draw that vertical line. You don't need to use a ruler. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. I'm also going to find what appears to be halfway between the top and the bottom. And if you do want to double check your work, you can kind of put a pencil down and measure and make sure you have it in the right spot. So I'm going to put a half measurement so we know that's halfway down the head. This is the line where our eyes are going to go. Your head, or actually I should say, the width of your eye will be determined if you can fit 5 eyes across the head. So what you want to do is just kind of start maybe eyeballing where your eyes go and just see if they're all going to fit. And that kind of looks pretty good. I'm just kind of getting a feel for it. And something that kind of also makes it easier for me is I like to draw ovals. And if I can fit 5 of the same size oval, then I know I've got a pretty good space for my eyes. So I'm going to make that measurement there. That's where my eyes will go. So you have a width, an eye width between your eyes, and then an eye width on either side of your eye. Okay. Also, you're going to measure halfway between your eye line and your chin line. That's going to be about right here. And that's where the bottom of your nose will go. Half of a half is a quarter. So this is a quarter way up the face. You're going to make another measurement that's halfway between here and here. That's where the opening of the mouth will go. And that is half of a quarter. So we're going to call that 1/8 of the way up the head. And that's how you remember you've got half, 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 okay? Alright, so let's go back and add some details here. I'm just going to draw a generic almond shape. Okay, just like the shapes of our heads are different, so are our eyes, but for the sake of this and just knowing where the features are, we're just going to draw an almond shape. And in that almond, we're going to put a circle for the iris and a pupil. Circle for the, almost like a set of brackets for the iris and a pupil, okay? Then for your nose, we're just going to do a generic nose. This line is where the bottom of your nose will be. Your nose is going to be the width of the inside corner of your eye. So I'm going to draw a dot down. And just for this little generic nose, I'm going to do your nostrils. And now we just have a little nose. A lot of people are tempted to draw the bridge of the nose down both sides. We are not going to do that. We are going to draw it down one side, which would represent that there's a shadow on one side. And so we know that our eyebrows are going to be about here. Okay, and your eyebrows can be high, low, angled, and they will affect the mood of your drawing. So just remember that when you're drawing them. And so I'm going to follow one side of where the eyebrow is all the way down to the nose. That's going to kind of give us a bridge of the nose. I'm going to just outline these eyebrows just so we know what that is. Okay, for the mouth, I'm just going to draw a generic mouth that the opening is right on this line. Your mouth's width is determined by your pupils, so I'm going to draw a dotted line straight down and just put a little dot there. And I'm just going to kind of draw a line like that. For the bottom, I'm just going to do that, and for the top, just add. Everybody's lips are a different shape, but just for the sake of these notes, we're just going to do those lips. Okay? The next thing we're going to add are the ears, which are determined by the height of the eye. And the bottom of the ear is different for everybody. The size of the ears are different, the amount you see from the front. But generally, the top of the ear will come up right about even with the eye, and the bottom will be somewhere between the nose and the mouth. And it'll be just kind of shaped like this, because we're looking at it front on. We're going to do the same to the other side. Just making sure they're even. Okay. Also, we're going to add our neck. You don't want it to be out this far or in too far, so I'm just going to go down like this, straight down, and we'll worry about adding shirt collars and stuff later. Okay, the last thing we're going to add is the hairline. Your hair does not start here. It's going to start down on your forehead. It's also going to come above your head. So I'm just going to draw a side part hairstyle. It goes behind the ear, goes above the head, maybe on this side it covers the ear. Okay, guys, when you do your hairline, even though you don't have long hair hanging in your face, you're still going to have a hairline kind of like this. And don't forget your sideburns, okay? Even when you have your hair going behind your ear, you're going to have a sideburn. Okay? So these are just the basics of facial proportion. You want to keep these in your notes so you'll know exactly where the width of the nose and mouth need to be, the width of the eyes, and how far down they need to be on your face.